Thanks for being here. We're going to start in just a minute. Bishop Uglietto will lead it off. When we get to the question and answer period, I'm going to moderate and I will choose the folks as opposed to just yelling out a question. So Bishop Uglietto, please.
Good morning and welcome to St. John's Seminary here in the Archdiocese of Boston. My name is Bishop Peter Uglietto. I am Vicar General and moderator of the Courier for the Archdiocese of Boston. Thank you for being with us today to share in the joy of this day and to extend your support and your prayers to the men who have been called to assume new responsibilities in our church. The Archdiocese of Boston is blessed to have two new auxiliary bishops who will assist Cardinal Sean in his task of shepherding and leading the nearly 2 million Catholics who reside in this local church. Since his arrival in Boston, Cardinal Sean has set out to bring healing and new life to the Archdiocese. But this task would be impossible without the support of many people, many who are in this room today. The pastors, religious men and women, deacons, and lay faithful who constitute the Archdiocese continue to help the Cardinal in his mission of healing and strengthening the faith of our Catholic people. Christ promised that he will be with us always, and that he would never abandon nor forsake us. His promise brings hope, and that hope is witnessed across the 144 cities and towns in the Archdiocese, in the 289 parishes, the 116 Catholic schools, and the more than 200,000 people helped through our social service ministries. This year alone, we ordained 9 men to the priesthood for service in the Archdiocese, and this afternoon, we have the joy of celebrating the Episcopal ordination of Archbishop-elect Paul Russell, who is being sent for diplomatic service in Turkey and Turkmenistan. His ordination will be televised live at 2 p.m. on Catholic television. This morning, we join with the Cardinal in celebrating a significant moment in the lives of 2 very good and holy priests of this Archdiocese who are being called to the fullness of holy orders. It is now my honor and pleasure to welcome Cardinal Sean to the podium and ask him to share with us this important announcement.
Thank you very much, Bishop Uglietto. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today on this very happy occasion. It's a very important day for the life of our church in Boston. Our Holy Father, Pope Francis, has announced that Father Robert Reed and Father Mark O'Connell have been named auxiliary bishops of Boston. Please join me in congratulating them at this moment. I am most grateful to Pope Francis, who has recognized in these priests the qualities necessary to be bishops in the Church, and I am grateful too to Bishops-elect Reed and O'Connell for their willingness to accept this call to service. The Archdiocese of Boston is blessed with so many priests who are dedicated to serving their people with humility and love. Bishops-elect Reid and O'Connell are two very good examples of the goodness of the priesthood in the Archdiocese of Boston. It is fitting that this announcement be made today on the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Every priest and bishop is called to imitate the pastoral love of Christ. We pray that the Lord will grant our new bishops the virtues and gifts that will help them conform their lives more closely to his Sacred Heart. Allow me now to introduce our new auxiliary bishops. Bishop-elect Robert Reid was born on June the 11th, 1959 in Boston. He is the son of the late William and Jean Reid and Charles Boland and the youngest of 5 children, William, Richard, Dr. Kenneth, and Nancy. Ordained to the priesthood in 1985, his first parish assignment was at Immaculate Conception Parish in Malden, followed by assignments at St. Catherine of Siena in Norwood, as pastor of St. Matthew's Parish in Dorchester, at St. Teresa of Avila in West Roxbury, All Saints Parish, and the pastor of Holy Ghost Parish in Whitman. Bishop-elect Reid prepared for the priesthood at St. John's Seminary in Brighton and the Pontifical North American College in Rome. He also holds an advanced degree in television management from Boston's University's College of Communication. His work at the Catholic Television Network has included serving as Director of Educational Development, Assistant Director, and Director. In addition to also serving as Director of the Radio Apostolate for the Archdiocese, he assists at Corpus Christi St. Bernard Parish in Newton and St. Bonaventure Parish in Plymouth. He's the author of Renewed 10 Ways to Rediscover the Saints, Embrace Your Gifts, and Revive Your Catholic Faith. Bishop-elect Reid will now offer us his remarks.
Thank you all for coming and for your interest, and a special thanks to Cardinal Sean for his kind words and especially for his confidence in me as one of his priests. And of course, I'm thankful to Pope Francis for this appointment, but also for his daily example to all of us on how to really live out our baptism with great joy, and also his inspiration to me personally as a parish priest. Speaking of this appointment, truthfully, I know so many guys who are far more qualified than I am, more intelligent, more gifted, but somehow in God's mysterious plan, I received a call last week from the nuncio, and that will always be a call that I will remember. I assure you it has been a very humbling and sobering experience. But it's not about me, really. As we like to say at Catholic TV, our tagline, it's all for you. This really is about our continuing work together in building up the church here in this great archdiocese. And all of you, my friends in the media, who are here in this room or who might be listening or looking in, your presence and your interest speaks volumes to me. And I say that because we know that the Catholic Church in our local communities is a very real force for good and for hope and for compassion. Sure, we're all sinners, but even still, we bring Jesus Christ into our daily life here in this archdiocese. It's critical for me and you to remember that we're all in need of conversion. This archdiocese, the church, is in need of continual reform and purification. But thankfully, God is very merciful, and so must we be to one another. Really, the Catholic Church, the Catholic community, is a fascination of mine. It always has been. That fascination is what first caused me to think of being a priest when I was a little boy. And I suspect that same fascination draws most of you here today. The church is alive. I see it all the time. I see it at the Catholic TV network. I see it in the parishes where I serve and visit. My strong feeling is that we stand at a very important moment. It's a moment of great hope, tremendous hope for what we're doing right now, for what we will be doing in the future with our shepherd, Cardinal Sean. When I was growing up, there were two centers for my life, my family home on Walnut Road and my parish, St. John the Evangelist. And we had a parochial school, a parish school as well, staffed by the Sisters of St. Joseph, by the way. My family and my parish meant everything to me. And that is the case today for so many people. I got to tell you, I am a radical optimist. I believe that every parish church can be full at weekend masses and every weekend. And I believe that every family home or condo or apartment, and even for those families that have no roof over their heads, that family can be a center for love and compassion. Personally, I'm keenly aware that my life and my work as a priest is a life of service, not privilege. And so for me today, this is a summons to an even deeper service. To Father Mark O'Connell and to all of my brother priests, younger and older, to those who have just been ordained, my brothers, we have worked and we have struggled together so much. I'm so proud to be one of you. But we must be focused on bringing more people to Jesus Christ, to encounter him, Jesus who is our only hope. And actually, I've chosen those words as a motto of my ministry going forward. Jesus spes unica. I use them often kind of spontaneously when I'm preaching. Jesus is my only hope. Jesus is our only hope. It's true. May he bless all of you and your families. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bishop-elect Mark O'Connell was born on June the 25th, 1964. He was ordained a priest in 1990. His mother, Margaret, who lives at the Bethany Health Center in Framingham, is surely very proud of her son. And as I understand, she's watching us now on her television. Bishop-elect O'Connell has two brothers, Thomas and John, and a sister, Margaret Mary. His late uncle, Father David Delaney, was a priest in Boston, and his aunt, Sister Jean Delaney, is a Dominican sister. A graduate of Dover Sherborne Regional High School, Bishop-elect O'Connell has earned degrees from Boston College and St. John's Seminary. Following his ordination in 1990, he served at St. Barbara Parish in Woburn and at St. Mary's of the Annunciation in Danvers, during which time he was one of the chaplains at Salem State University. He then received his license in canon law from the Università della Santa Croce in Rome and his doctorate in canon law. From 2001 to 2007, Father Mark served as the Archdiocese assistant to the moderator of the Curia for Canonical Affairs. He has been the judicial vicar since 2007 and is on the faculty at both St. John's Seminary and Pope St. John the 23rd Seminary, and is the chaplain to the Catholic Lawyers Guild. Bishop-elect O'Connell will now share with us some of his remarks.
Pope Francis has made many decisions these past few years that have surprised us, shaken us out of our patterns of thinking and being. His actions, gestures, and writings make us think in new ways They bring us to prayer. They challenge us greatly and touch us deeply. The decision of his to make me a bishop has done all these things. They've done these things to me in a very personal way, very real way. So, as a humbled recipient of this office of bishop, I thank Pope Francis and I pledge my unwavering loyalty. I wish also to thank Cardinal Sean O'Malley for all he has done to bring some healing to our Archdiocese and for his trust in me. There are so many I could mention, but I can do that individually as I have not arrived at this podium unaided. I have got to this place helped, protected, prayed for, and loved by so many bishops, priests, religious men and women, and lay people. They are the only reason I'm here. I will spend just a moment to mention my deceased father. Somewhere in heaven, he is rubbing his hands together with delight. I am so grateful to God that my mother, yes, that's Bethany Healthcare Center in Framingham, I'm so happy that she can share this joy, as well as my two brothers and my sister and my nieces and nephews and extended family. I have no idea what is beyond August 24th for me, but I give thanks for the part of my life that is ending. I love the priesthood, and I would have been quite happy to serve in this capacity for the rest of my life. But I have never said no to the church, and I'm not going to stop now. I am so grateful to God that my mother at Bethany excuse me. I wish to speak just a moment about my motto I have chosen, which is Invenimus Messiam. Anybody got it? I chose this motto as I'm a devoted to St. Andrew. These are his words when he spoke to his brother, who became Peter. When he met Jesus, he went immediately to his brother and said, "We have found the Messiah." In Latin, Invenimus Messiam. In John's Gospel, Andrew is an evangelizer. When he meets Jesus, he goes immediately to his brother, and then later, when there is not enough for the crowds, he brings a child to Jesus with 2 fish and 5 loaves. Later in John's Gospel, he meets the Gentiles, the Greeks, and he and Philip bring them to Jesus. So St. Andrew in John's Gospel first brings his family, then brings a child, then brings the outsiders, all to the Lord. Please God, I will bring people to meet the Messiah, Jesus Christ, who is my Lord, and to whom I owe everything in my life, and now to whom I serve in a different way as bishop. Thank you.
Thank you, Cardinal Sean and Bishops-elect Reed and O'Connell. We share your joy today, and we pledge our prayer and support for you, that you will bring the zeal and devotion with which you have served the Lord and his church as priests to your new ministry as bishops. Before we move on to the question and answer portion of the program, I want to announce that the ordination, as Bishop-elect O'Connell mentioned, will take place this summer on the Feast of St. Bartholomew, Wednesday, August 24th, at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. We pray for cool weather. With that, we invite your questions.
So
Thanks, Antonio. First of all, since Pope Francis took on the office of Bishop of Rome, he's deeply affected my life. I alluded to that a bit in my remarks. Just in my work as a parish priest and helping out and at Catholic TV, I think I've sensed myself being much more attentive to people, noticing people more, and remembering that even very close to us, there are people that are on the peripheries. And so I would like to very much make that a part of my ministry going forward, our attentiveness to one another as we encounter one another, and also to bring people to encounter Jesus Christ in that same very intimate way.
Well, I'll speak in my role as judicial vicar, and that role is different now because of Pope Francis. So before Pope Francis, we did our best to help as many people as we could. But with the new document, Mitis Dominus Jesus, Mitis Judex Dominus Jesus, excuse me. With that new document, I am helping many more people. I'm helping new immigrants. I'm helping people that have had a hard time coming forward to the tribunal. And perhaps I won't be doing tribunal work as much anymore, but right in my life I've seen real change, not superficial change, not words change, but real change with people's lives that thought they were on the periphery. And Pope Francis has said, no, you are not. And so I look forward to the whole story of what Pope Francis has in his pontificate. I think we're just beginning. You could ask the man to my left that, but I think we're just beginning, and I look forward to it.
Do you have a follow-up, Antonio, or? No, that's okay. So we'll go back if you need. Vivian, do you have a question? Or just who you want to direct it to?
I wanted to ask how your view on media expertise is going to shape your ministry.
You know, I work with a fantastic group of 30 people at Catholic TV and over 50 people in iCatholic Media. And it's been a great experience for me as a priest. I've really learned a lot on the job. You know, I studied communication, but really what I've learned from the great men and women with whom I work. And so I can only say that the skills that I've learned, the vocabulary that I've picked up, the organizational and business sense that I've learned from my collaborators is only going to help me in my ministry going forward, and I mean that sincerely. Great group of people. Catholic TV, CatholicTV.com. I had to get that in.
I began my work in the Chancery on July 1st of 2001. The scandal hit shortly after that. I've spent the last 15 years of my life working on rebuilding, rebuilding the church with this man to my left. He's given me such responsibility and trust, and I have worked every single day on that, and I will continue to work every single day on that.
Mark from the pilot, you want to ask a question directed to whoever?
Sure. Father, will you be taking a reduced role at Catholic TV at all?
Cardinal Sean and I had a chance just to speak about that briefly, and I indicated that, you know, we're at a very important moment, not just Catholic TV, but also all of the pieces of the puzzle of iCatholic Media. The Pilot, America's oldest Catholic newspaper, Pilot bulletins, Pilot printing, and all. And so I asked if I could retain a role in the organization, particularly at Catholic TV. And so we're going to try to work that out. But I think that would be very good for Catholic TV if I could do that, in addition to the other responsibilities that I'll be given.
Well, in Boston, we've often had two men named simultaneously. We have a large archdiocese, almost 2 million Catholics, and traditionally we've had 6 auxiliary bishops to help in the archdiocese. And so since I've been here, this is the second or the third group of 2 that I'm ordaining. So we're very grateful to the Holy Father for this great gift to the archdiocese.
Antonio.
I would like to ask Cardinal Sean, how do you see, so since you've been the Bishop of Boston, I think this would be the 8th ordination. 5 are auxiliaries right now with them, plus 3 are residential in other dioceses. And all of them were Boston priests. How do you see that in terms of the confidence that the Holy Fathers, both Benedict, John Paul II, Benedict, and now Francis, are putting in the Boston clergy to pick from them priests or to become bishops? How do you react to that?
Well,
Also, in the context of coming out of the abuse crisis 15 years ago.
well, the Archdiocese of Boston is a diocese that traditionally has had a very large clergy. And Cardinal Cushing, for that reason, started the St. James Society, and 300 Boston priests went in the last 50 years to serve in Latin America. We have probably the largest group of men serving as chaplains in the armed forces. And this isn't even speaking about the religious priests who come from this diocese. The founder of Maryknoll was a priest from Boston, and so many priests and bishops and religious serving all over the world in religious communities have their home in Boston. So we've had the numbers and the very blessed with very, very many talented priests and religious, and so traditionally Rome has looked upon Boston. This afternoon we are going to ordain a man, Archbishop, who will go to represent the Holy See in Turkey. He has been in charge of the Holy See's mission to Taiwan for several years, and now is being made a bishop to represent Pope Francis there. So we've been very blessed with wonderful human resources here, and we've been called upon to share those human resources with the church throughout the world, and we're very, very happy to do that and very proud of the fact that many of our men who've served here as auxiliary bishops have gone on to be bishops and archbishops in other dioceses, and this in spite of the challenges and the difficulties that we've had in the past. And we see that our clergy is blessed with many good and holy priests who are being called upon to serve here in the Archdiocese and in the Universal Church.
Also for the Cardinal Sean. First, just want to say thank you. As an alum of Central Catholic High School in Lawrence, the work that you do with them is fantastic. I want to say thank you for that. And my question is just regarding St. Francis in Situate. The vigil has come to an end. Just kind of your thoughts on the process and where we are now.
Well, the diocese tried to cooperate and allow for all the appeals to take place, and we're sorry that it was such a long and a painful process for everyone. We're hoping that as time goes on, we'll be able to see reconciliation with the parishioners from there, and the diocese has reached out to them. We're praying for them. We want them to know that they're very important to us, and we're anxious to have them participate in our parishes.
Jay, do you have a question, or?
Yeah, two-part. First of all, what was your reaction when you got the call? And secondly, you have a lot of your fellow priests here, your brother priests. What do you say not only to them, but the priests of this archdiocese? What would you expect?
Jay, I can say I was truly, probably for the first time in my life, speechless. I didn't know what to say, and Archbishop Vigano, I think, sensed in the silence that something was up, and so he quickly said, began speaking about, the challenge that the ministry of bishop is in this particular day, but the grace of God, would carry me through. So I was genuinely speechless. But to my brother priests who are here and those who might be looking in, especially to the guys, I know there's some of the guys that were just ordained recently. I look forward to being a newly ordained again with you. I'm really excited about that. And I truly look forward to being perhaps a little more involved in the parish life. I've been a bit divorced from that, except on weekends in my work at Catholic TV. But my heart is really in the parish. I love being a priest. I always have, and I always will. And really, for us as diocesan priests, that's where it all that's where it all happens in the parish community. So I just look forward to being more involved with my brothers.
Before you sit down, who was the first person you told and why?
The first person I told,
Yeah. That you had been elected.
I fell down on my knees and I told God, who already knew, that I needed a lot of help.
Archbishop Vigano called me to tell me this news, and he was trying to get me to say, "I accept." So I said one thing, he didn't like that. So I said, well, I'm not going to say no, and he didn't like that. So he wanted me to say, "I accept." So I said, well, I accept. And he said, good, because it's not easy to be a bishop. And I think that's a very beautiful thing he told me. I look at Archbishop Paul Russell, who will be ordained today, and he is going into an uncertain place where he's a nuncio to Turkey. And I think Bishop-elect Reed and I also go into an uncertain world. Who knows what the church will bring to us? And I'm ready for whatever God brings my way. In terms of the priests of Boston, well, for the past many years, I've been the question guy, canon law hotline kind of. They know me very, very well, and I tried to serve my brother's priests as much as I could in that role, as helpful as I could be. And I don't see that changing with this. I just plan on serving as best I can. And who did I tell? That would be my best friend, Father Paul Soper, and my mother. They were the ones that I told first. And they were both happy for me.